have to practice and more practice, more often, more frequently, to keep speaking until the neurons in my mind fire together and wire together to speak clearly, articulately, immaculately even. As long as I get to practice, it doesn't really matter the kind of pronunciation and enunciation and stress and accentuation and emphasis and accent that I'm using, as long as I get to practice speaking and practice looking at the camera lens as if it is something that I have to always remember. It is the number one requirement, as I realize, based on experience, based on my observation. When I look at the video that I made and I look at the video that other people have made, they would have the greatest impact when they look at the camera lens as if they are looking at the viewer or the audience. And even if there are people around, because that shows nothing. We are living in the world of illusion, in the world of Maya, in the world of visible realm, where we all go by our sight and not by our sixth sense or seventh sense. And this is the new world in which we live. This is a new world in which we have to accept the fact that we are creating our own reality. We are practicing. We are doing it not only for our own sake, but for other people's sake, because as they see us rising up to reclaim our power, they will also rise up to reclaim their own power. We have to keep unwavering focusing, like a laser focus, on our dream. Unless we hold on to our dream, we cannot create a new, better world. Unless Martin Luther King hold on to his dream, he cannot create a new, better world. He has achieved the dream. The dream is continuing to fulfill itself through the legacy that he has left behind and the seeds of his generation, and the generation to come shall continue this legacy, to continue the dream, to continue to live in each and every one of us as we take the dream and run with it by taking action, based on the seeds that we have planted into our consciousness. Our consciousness will continue to bear fruit in the actions that we take, based on the conviction in our hearts, based on the dreams that lies within our soul. We shall take forth from the invisible to the visible. We shall bear fruit as we continue to plant ourselves by the rivers of living water, as we continue to take hold of the dream by practicing. It doesn't matter that we are not being perfect. It doesn't matter as long as we are putting in the effort and the time, and above all the passion. We have passion in each and every one of us. It's how we express the passion. So we will take any opportunity to express our passion, because we do have a passion in us, in creating our own world that is for the betterment of the society. And we are like the universe that is ever expanding, ever growing, ever progressing. So we will make sure that every generation will do far better than the previous generation. Jesus even said that the future generation, the disciples, shall do greater works than himself. He has done amazing work, but the future generation will do much better. We, in this present generation, we will do amazing work. We will leave behind a legacy for our future generations to do even greater works than what we do, even more amazing results that they will produce. So we will continue to practice, we will continue to grow, evolve, progress, and that is all to it, because it's really all about going into the invisible realm, going behind and beyond the illusion that we live in, going into our deeper self and seek only our own approval. The byproduct or the cream, the icing on the cake is other people's approval, but that's only the byproduct. We don't live for the byproduct, we live for the journey as we move towards a destination that is ever changing, ever progressing. Our focus is on the journey, on the progress, on the process. That is what we focus on. Our reward is not in the applause or the result. Our reward is in the now, in the here and now. No problem will ever live long in the here and now. I think Eckhart Tolle said something like that. So keep on practicing any and every opportunity we have to express in any and every way. Doesn't have to be a video, can be a blog, can be a post, can be an email, can be a tweet, an SMS message, a WhatsApp chat. It can be offline as well. It can be in the form of a word of encouragement, or it can be simply without words, as we sit and look right, look left, and look right as we cross the road, especially when you're talking to the phone camera. So as we continue to express ourselves, it can be online or offline, and it can be with words or without words. Even if we take time to contemplate and meditate and ruminate on the revelations and contemplation that is within us, we are also making progress. Outwardly, it seems like we are being still, but in that stillness, we are still making progress. We are still evolving, because whether we are moving or not moving, whether we are in a state of inertia or we are in a state of motion, whether we are talking or whether we are keeping silent, as long as we continue to focus on our self-development so that we can be in a better state to help others in their path of evolution, we are already making progress. As the farmer will say, as he plants the seed into the ground, even though nothing happens for a while, there is progress. So by the time the shoot come out from the soil and we see that the plant is ready to grow and eventually to be harvested, it's all a cycle. We are all part of the cycle. There's no beginning and there is no end. So as long as we stay in the flow of the cycle, whether it's water cycle, whether it's a plant cycle, whether it's a dream cycle, we are in the flow. Stay in the focus. Keep practicing, keep meditating. These two go hand in hand. There can be no practice without meditating, and there can be no meditating without practice. So it's the yin and yang, the Tao symbol that is a circle. So the circle represents the cycle. Without the yin, we cannot have the yang. Without the yang, we cannot have the yin. So we must combine both the duality of the visible and invisible, the action and the non-action, the walking and the talking, and the stationary and the motion. That is my message to myself. If you happen to eavesdrop into this conversation that I have with myself through this video, you are blessed. But I am first and foremost focusing on self-development using the tool. The video is only a tool, and it's a means by which I use to practice, and the means by which I express my gratitude to those who contribute indirectly or directly to my growth. And I will do the same, even as I focus on self-development, self-love, self-worth. And it is 10 minutes, so thank you. Thank you for your time. And until then, take care. Blessing be unto you. Peace be unto you. Bye.